Ms. Marin?
I wanted to remind or perhaps inform the public or those unaware that this plan that the FCPS was putting into place, that has been elevated and accelerated because of bipartisan legislation that passed last year. So bipartisan legislation means people that thought different ways came together and made something happen. And it happened under the signature of Governor Youngkin. And this is the kind of governance and policy work that our Commonwealth needs. And this is where the state's leadership and attention is most effective. I want to say a moment about equity. What does equitable access? Because that word is used a lot and it's misunderstood a lot. Equity means that the student gets the instruction in the way that makes the most sense for that student to achieve. So for instance, a student with dyslexia, a challenge that affects 20% of our population, that student needs the kind of instruction that's in this literacy plan, and all students will benefit from that instruction as well. Yesterday, I spoke with a dyslexic fourth grade student who told me about the the historical fiction piece he was writing. This is a student that still is not yet on grade level, but because of these strategies, that student has an equitable access to literacy. That's what that means. I also wanted to share just some thoughts related to this and some of the topics we heard tonight. For instance, about security. I know all of us are very concerned about student security. I have my own kids in the building. But our mission at the public schools is to do this, is to educate our children. And this is where we shine, and this is our expertise. And our expertise is not preventing gun violence or preventing break-ins. And indeed, our funding doesn't cover enough for us to do those things. So we have to make these decisions based on funding that is often not enough, and with public services that are, society has to keep its end of the bargain too, and teach our children and show up and not allow guns to be accessible and all of these things. About the calendar, I heard some comments about the calendar. This kind of work doesn't happen without targeted professional development. And the number one thing I hear from our staff is they crave professional development where they're being coached how to do this in the classroom. It's not gonna happen in a webinar once a year or once a quarter or in the summer. It's gonna happen throughout the year with very intensive, this is a craft, and they're teaching children. So I just wanna underscore and just share, again, how important this is. And I'm just so thrilled, and I know I got a note from our Decoding Dyslexia advocates who are just so thankful to Ms. Clemenco, Dr. Presidio, the staff, and they're saying that around Virginia, Decoding Dyslexia Virginia, we are being seen, Fairfax is being seen as a dream come true. The website, the background process, behind the scenes, it's making a difference. So Fairfax County is focused on the very foundation of children's success, and that is being a literate person who is confident in their reading and writing and expressing themselves in the world. So this is just wonderful. Thank you for the update.